Hello students, welcome to CleverQ. In this video, we are going to discuss on most important questions for SSC CGL 2020 examination Tier 2 Paper 1. You can download CleverQ mobile app on Play Store. Full live course for SSC CGL Quantitative Aptitude is available in CleverQ mobile app. Here goes the first question. Triangle PQR is an equilateral triangle and S is a point on QR such that SR is equal to 3QS. PT is perpendicular drawn from P on QR. Then which of the following is correct? Now here is the triangle PQR. Now in this triangle, S is a point on QR such that SR is equal to 3 into QS. So here is S. So you have 3QS as SR. Now PT is perpendicular drawn from P on QR. Here is the point T. Now since this is an equilateral triangle, T divides QR into two equal parts. Now since SR is equal to 3QS, if you add a point on TR, let us say this as U, then QS is equal to ST is equal to TU is equal to UR. Here U is the midpoint of TR. Now you can see that SR is equal to 3 into QX. Here S will also be the midpoint of ST. This happens because this is an equilateral triangle. For example, if this is X, ST will also be X, TU will be X and UR will be X. Here our condition is getting satisfied. See, SR is 3X and 3 into QS is equal to 3x. Hence this condition is satisfied. Now we have to find the value of PS square. Here PS square is equal to PT square into PT square plus ST square. Here the length of the triangle is 4x. You know, PT is the height of the triangle. So PT will be equal to root 3 by 2 into side of the triangle, that is 4x. Now we can see that PT square is root 3 by 2 into 4x whole square plus ST is x. So x square. Here if you solve this, we get here 2 into 2 is 4. So 2 root 3 square is 4 into 3, that is 12x square plus x square, we get 13x square. But here we have to express this in terms of QT. See, everywhere we have QT in each and every option. So here the length of QT is 2x. So if this is in the form of 13 into 2x whole square, then we can get the answer. So for this we will be multiplying 4 on both sides. Here PS square is equal to 13x square. Now if you multiply 4 on both sides, here we have 4 and here we have 4. Now 4PS square will be equal to 13 into 2x square, which is equal to 13 into QT square. This is as simple as that. Option C is the right answer. From a point M, a man observes that the angle of elevation of the summit of a hill is 60 degrees. He then walks away from the hill for 400 meters and observes that the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. Find the height of the hill. Now from a point M, so this is the point M, and now the man observes that the angle of elevation of the summit of the hill. So if this is the hill, now hill is not in a straight line, but here this is the summit of the hill. Now this is the line drawn perpendicular to the ground. Here this is the ground. Now he observes that this is at the angle of elevation is 60 degrees, and we have to find the height of the hill. Now the man walks away from the hill for 400 meters. Let this point be P. Now from this he observes that the angle of elevation is 30 degrees. Now let this be point A and let this be point B. Now we have got two triangles. Now I'll explain you one short trick over here. If this is the triangle, this angle is 30 degrees and this angle is 60 degrees. See, you have sine 30 as 1 by 2, that is sine theta is opposite by hypotenuse, so this will be 1 and this will be 2. Similarly, cos 30 is root 3 by 2, here adjacent side by hypotenuse, so this length will be root 3. Whenever we have a right angle triangle, then the length of the side opposite to 30 degrees angle will be 1 unit, and the length of the side which is opposite to 60 degrees will be root 3 units, and the length of this hypotenuse will be 2 units. Now let us consider the triangle PAB. This is P, this is A, and this is B. Here you have 30 degrees and this one will be 60 degrees. Then PB will be of root 3 units and AB will be of 1 unit. Now let us consider the triangle MBA. This is point M, this is point B, and this is point A. Here this is 60 degrees and this angle is 30 degrees. Now the length of the side which is opposite to 60 degrees angle will be root 3 units, and the length opposite to the angle 30 degrees will be 1 unit. I hope this is understood for everyone. Now AB is the length of the hill and this has to be equal. So let us multiply root 3 in this triangle for all the sides. Now root 3 into 1 will be root 3 and root 3 into root 3 will be 3. So now we have seen that the length of PB is 3 units and the length of AB is root 3 units and the length of MB is 1 unit. Now we see that PM is 2 units which is given as 400 meters. Then 1 unit will be equal to 200 meters. Now we have to find the length of AB, that is root 3 units. This one will be 200 root 3 meters. So option is B. B is the right answer, 200 root 3 meters. If you understand this method, you can solve this question in less than 10 seconds. It is as simple as that. You have to remember the ratio of this triangle. See, if there is a triangle with angle 45 degrees, this is a right angle triangle with the other angles as 45 degrees, then you have 1 side, then you have the altitude as 1 and the base also 1 and hypotenuse will be 2. So these are the ratio of the right angle triangle where the other angles are 45 degrees, and here is the ratio of right angle sides of the right angle triangle where we have 30 degrees and 60 degrees as other angles. So in such kind of questions, avoid using the conventional method where you use tan 60 degrees first and then find this will be AB by MB, and you have to calculate for MB in both the triangles, where for tan 30 degrees will be equal to AB by 400 plus MB. Here this method will be longer because you have to find the equate the value for MB and then again solve for AB, but in this method you will be finding straight away the value of AB. Here the answer is 200 root 3. Next question. Avinash and Banu invested 10,000 and 6,000 respectively. After 3 months, Avinash withdrew 2,000 and Banu added 4,000 to their investments. Now after another 3 months, Chandan entered into the business with an amount of 15,000 rupees. Find the profit earned by Avinash if the total profit in the year is 76,500 rupees. This is a simple problem. Here the profit is shared according to their investment. So let us find the total investment made by them. Here we can see that in this investment 3 zeros are common, so eliminate these 3 zeros for our simplicity. Now Avinash, Bhanu and Chandan. Avinash invested 10 units for 3 months and Banu invested 6 units for 3 months, and after 3 months Avinash withdrew 2 units, that means he invests 8 units, and Banu added 4 units, that is he will be investing 10 units. Now Chandan after 3 months will be adding 15,000 to the, that is 15 units to the business. So he will be investing for 6 months and Avinash will be investing 8 units for 9 months. Similarly as Banu will be investing 10 units for 9 months. Now you can see this is 30 units and here this is 72 and this is 18 and 90 and here this is 90. Now we can find the total, the individual investment ratio of Avinash, Banu and Chandan. This is 102, that is 30 plus 72, and 108, that is 18 plus 90 is to 90. See, you can see that all these three are multiples of 6. So this is 17 is to 18 is to 15. So the profit will be distributed in this ratio only. Now here 17 plus 18 is 35 and 35 plus 15 is 50. So total 50 units of profit is distributed among themselves. Avinash takes 17 units, Banu takes 18 units and Chandan takes 15 units. Now 50 units is equal to 76,500. Now you can see 0 and 0 gets cancelled and 1 unit is equal to, see, 5 into 15 is 75 and 15 is remaining, 5 into 3 is 15. So 1530. 1 unit is equal to 1530. Now we have to find 17 units because 17 units is the share of Avinash of the total profit. Now 17 units is equal to 1530 into 17. Now please don't multiply this. See, you have to find the unit digit. Now you will be having 1 0 and immediately after this 0 you will be having 7 into 3, that is 21. So you will be having 1 immediately after the 0 and the other digits continue. So in these options you have only 26,010 which satisfies this. So option A is the right answer. See, you can check, you can have a recheck as well, for instance, but in the examination you shouldn't do this multiplication because your time will be your time is wasted. See, 0. Now 17 into 3 is 51. You have 5 in the mind. 17 into 5 is 85. 85 plus 5 is 90. So 0 and you have 9 in the mind. 17 into 1 is 17 and 17 plus 9 is 26. So you have 26,010 rupees. This is the share of Avinash. Moving to the next question. If x square plus 5x plus 1 is equal to 0, then find the value of x plus 5 whole cube plus 1 by x plus 5 whole cube. Now here is the equation given: x square plus 5x plus 1 equal to 0. Now if you take x common from these two terms, you have x into x plus 5 plus 1 equal to 0. Now take out x plus 5 term which is in the bracket common from this whole equation. Now we have x plus 5 into x plus 1 by x plus 5 equal to 0. Now if you divide with x plus 5 on both sides, you are left with x plus 1 by x plus 5 equal to 0. Now here you can see that we need another 5 term. So let us add 5 on both sides. So this is x plus 5 and here also we have 0 plus 5 which is equal to 5. Now you have got this equation: x plus 5 plus 1 by x plus 5 equal to 5. Now you have to cube on both sides because we need x plus 5 whole cube plus 1 by x plus 5 whole cube. Here this is x plus 5 whole cube plus 1 by x plus 5 whole cube plus 3 into x plus 5 into 1 by x plus 5 into x plus 5 plus 1 by x plus 5. Now this is equal to 5 cube which is 125. Here x plus 5 and x plus 5 term gets cancelled and we know that x plus 5 plus 1 by x plus 5 value is 5. Now 3 into 5 is 15 and if you send that 15 to the other side, it will be 125 minus 15 which is equal to 110. So 110 is the answer. Now you don't have to do all this process because you know that if x plus 1 by x is equal to a, then x cube plus 1 by x cube will be equal to a cube minus 3a. We can prove this simply because x plus 1 by x whole cube value will be x cube plus 1 by x cube plus 3 into x into 1 by x into x plus 1 by x. See, the value of this is a and here x and x gets cancelled and we are left with x cube plus 1 by x cube plus 3a. When this goes to the other side, on the other side you have a cube and when this goes to the other side you have minus 3a. So we get this formula, that is x plus 1 by x is equal to a, then x cube plus 1 by x cube will be a cube minus 3a. So if you remember this, you can directly put away 125 minus 15 and you get 110. Moving to the next question. In triangle ABC, the bisector of angle A meets BC at point D. If AB is 20 centimeters, AC is 19 centimeters and BC is 13 centimeters, then find the value of DC. Now here is the triangle ABC. Now the bisector of angle A, that is the angular bisector at point A, meets BC at D. So this is the point D. Here BAD, the angle BAD will be equal to angle DAC, because this AD is the angular bisector of at A. Now I will explain you the concept which is being used here. If the length of AB is small a and the length of AC is small b, then the length of then the point D divides BC in the ratio of A is to B. That is BD by DC, BD by DC, BD by DC will be equal to A by B. So this is the concept which is used over here. Let us see further. The length of AB is 20 centimeters. The length of AC is 19 centimeters. And the length of BC is given as 13 centimeters. Now here we can see that the ratio of BD and DC is equal to 20 is to 19. BD is 20 units and DC is 19 units. So together if we add this, we get BC, that is 39 units. Here 39 units is given as 13 centimeters. So 1 unit will be equal to 13 by 39, that is 1 by 3 centimeters. Now we have to find the value of DC. The value of DC, that is here BD is 20 units and DC is 19 units. Now we get 19 units as 19 by 3 centimeters, which is equal to 6.33 centimeters. Option A is the right answer. So the concept used over here is this, and you have to remember this. Next question. Sin x minus sin cube x divided by cos x minus cos cube x into tan x plus cot x into sin square x is equal to. So we have to solve this equation. Now using short tricks in trigonometry is by substituting some value for the x. But this is a simple question, so we can straight away solve this. See, here you have sin x and sin x in the numerator and cos x in the denominator. You can take out sin x common in the numerator and cos x as common in the denominator. We can write this equation as sin x into 1 minus sin square x by cos x into 1 minus cos square x into tan x plus cot x. Here tan x is sin by cos and here cot x is cos by sin. Now here if you take the LCM and add it, we can get sin square x plus cos square x, that is 1 divided by sin x cos x in the denominator. Here you have 1 in the numerator and sin x cos x in the denominator into sin square x. Now 1 minus sin square x is cos square x and 1 minus cos square x is sin square x. So this and this gets cancelled out. Sin x and sin x also gets cancelled out. Here you have cos square x in the denominator, that is 2 cos x terms, and in the numerator also you have 1 minus sin square x, that is cos square x. So these terms also gets cancelled and you are left with 1. Option B is the right answer. Hope you understood. Arun is 30% more efficient than Bharat and Charan is 20% more efficient than Bharat. Working together, they can finish a work in 13 days. In how many days can Arun alone complete 4/5 of the work? Now let us take the individual efficiency ratio Arun, Bharat and Charan. Here Arun is 30% more efficient than Bharat. So A by B we can write it as, if Bharat's efficiency is 10, then Arun's efficiency is 30% more, that is 30% of 10 is 3 and efficiency of Arun will be 13. Now Charan is 20% more efficient than Bharat. So the efficiency ratio of Bharat and Charan, 20% more efficiency. See, the fractional value of 20% is 1 by 5. So if efficiency of Bharat is 5, then efficiency of Charan will be 5 plus 1, that is 6. Like we did here, 30% fractional value is 3 by 10. Here if the efficiency of Bharat is 10, then efficiency of Arun will be 3 more than 10, so 13. Here the efficiency of Bharat should be equal in both cases. So here you can multiply with 2 on numerator and denominator, you get 10 by 12. So here efficiency of Arun is 13, Bharat is 10 and Charan is 12. Now working together they can finish the work in 13 days. Now we can calculate total work. Total work is equal to total efficiency into number of days. Total efficiency is 13 plus 10 plus 12, that is 23 plus 12, that is 35 into 13. Here this is the total work. Now we have to find number of days taken by Arun alone to complete 4/5 of the work. Here the work done by Arun is only 4 by 5th of the total work, that is 4 by 5 into 35 into 13. Now the efficiency of A is 13. So the total time taken by Arun to complete this much work will be 4 into 35 into 13 divided by 5 into 13. See, this is 4 by 5. So I wrote 5 and 13 in the denominator straight away. So here 13 and 13 gets cancelled. 5 and 35 5 into 7 is 35. We have 4 into 7 as 28. Option C is the answer. See, straight away from here we can say that C is the answer. How can we say that? Here 13 and 13 gets cancelled out, but here in this 35 we have prime number 7 which cannot get cancelled out by any means. So in the final answer we should have 7 as the multiple. So in option A you don't have 7 as the multiple. In option B also there is no 7 multiple, and in only option C you have multiple 7, that is you have one of the factors as 7. So option C you can mark it straight away. In a city there are two electricity offices A and B consisting of 72 and 88 employees respectively. If the average weight of employees is in office A is 60 kg and that of office B is 15 kg, find the average weight of the employees of both offices. See, avoid using conventional method like by calculating the total weight of officers in office A, that is 72 into 60 plus 88 into 45 divided by 72 plus 88. You should avoid this method. I'll be telling you another method over here which is very shorter and easier than this. This method is so much calculative also. So let us go to this method now. See, there are two offices A and B. The average of office A is 60 and the average of office B is here there are 72 employees and in office B there are 88 employees. Now consider some average, just any value which is in between 60 and 45. Let us take 50. Now see, the deviation here is 10 and here the deviation is minus 5. Now multiply this 10 with total number of employees and multiply minus 5 with total number of employees in office B, that is 88. Now here you have 720 minus 440. Now divide this with total number of employees, that is 72 plus 88. 72 plus 88. Here you get 720 minus 440 is 280 divided by 72 plus 88 is 160. Here 0 and 0 gets cancelled. 4 into 4, 4 into 7 and 7 by 4 is 1.75. Here you can see that this is positive value. Now this value should be added to the assumed value, that is 50. The answer will be 50 plus 1.75. Here if you get negative value then you will be subtracting this value from 50. In this case we have positive value. You have 51.75 as the average weight. Option C is the right answer. Now if you have any doubt you can check over here. See, 720 into 60 is 0. This is 420 plus 12, that is 432. 4320 plus, see, 45 into 88, you can write it as 44 into 90 and 360 into 11, that is 3960 divided by 72 plus 88, that is 160. Now add 4320 and 3960. You get 0828. Now 8280 divided by 160. 4 into 4 is 16. 4 into 207 is 828. Now 4 into 5, 1.75. You have got the same answer. This method is very lengthy method, so you have to use only this method in your examination to calculate it fast. Moving to the next question. In triangle ABC, x and y are the points on sides AB and AC respectively, such that xy is parallel to BC. If AX is to XB is 1:2, then what is the ratio of the area of triangle AXY to the trapezium BCYZ? See, here is the triangle ABC, and this is the line parallel to BC, that is XY. Now let us discuss the concept used in this problem. When XY is parallel to BC, here angle AXY will be equal to angle ABC. Similarly, angle AYX will be equal to angle ACB. Here we have two similar triangles. One is AXY and another one is ABC. Here you have two similar triangles. When we have two similar triangles, then the ratio of corresponding sides will be equal. That is, AX by AB will be equal to BC by, sorry, we have to consider this triangle only. XY by BC will be equal to AY by AC. Here this is the concept which is used, that is similarity of triangles. And now here again the ratio of their areas, that is ratio of area of AXY and area of the triangle ABC will be equal to square of their corresponding sides. That is AX by AB whole square, or XY by BC whole square, or AY by AC whole square. Now see, here AX is to XB is 1:2. This is 1. AX is 1 unit and XB is 2 units. Now from this you can find the ratio of XY and BC. The ratio of the lengths XY and BC will be equal to the ratio of AX, that is, I will write it down here, XY by BC will be equal to AX by AB, which is equal to 1 by 1 plus 2, 3. So this is 1 and this is 3. Similarly here also AY by YC will be 1:2. So this is all not needed. Now let us first find out the areas, the ratio of the areas of triangle AXY and triangle ABC. Here this one will be AX by AB whole square, which is equal to 1 by 3 whole square, which is equal to 1 by 9. See here the ratio, the area of AXY is 1 unit and the ratio of total ABC is 9 units. Now from here you can find the area of trapezium XBCY or BCYX. So this is x. Now the area of trapezium BCYX will be equal to this total area of triangle ABC minus area of triangle AXY, that is 9 minus 1, which is equal to 8. Hence the answer is 1:8. Option D is the right answer. A sum of rupees 6,000 is lent at simple interest in two parts in such a way that first part at 4% and second part at 5% per annum. The total interest received in 3 years is 756. Then find the sum lent at 4%. Now here we will be using alligation method. For that we have to see the cumulative interest for one single year. That means 756 by 3 will be equal to 252. So for 1 year you get 252 as the interest. Now how much percent is this? 252 by 6,000 into 100. 6 into 10, and this is 6 into 42. You have 4.2%. On overall, for 1 year, the cumulative interest is 4.2%. Or this is the combined interest. Now we will apply the alligation method. Here it is 4% and 5%. You will be writing the smaller one on the left side and the greater one on the right side. In the middle you will be writing the combined interest for 1 year. So this is 4.2% minus 4%, that is 0.2, and 5 minus 4.2, that is 0.8. Here the ratio is 4:1. Here 0.2 into 1 and 0.2 into 4, you have 4:1. That means 4 units, 4 parts of the total money is invested in 4% and 1 part of the total money is invested in 5%. Now total sum invested is 5 units. 4 plus 1, 5 units. This 5 units is equal to 6,000 rupees. 1 unit will be 1200, and we have to find the 4 units because 4 units is invested in 4% simple interest. Now 4 units is 4,800. Option A is the right answer. Please download the CleverQ mobile app now on Play Store. Link is given below in the description. Please comment if you have any doubts. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel.